All right, so there is a lot going on, to say the least, in our world right now, sorry, I'm still hung up on the Roe v. Wade news, but obviously, but it did get me to thinking. I've been wanting to do a tarot channel, and I know in these times, like especially when these big decisions that kind of feel and are very material, very real and cataclysmic for a lot of people, it kind of can feel like, I guess, helpless a little bit, you know, just unsure of what to do or what can you even do, like what possible impact could you make on something that feels so completely out of your control. So I decided to do a pick card spread to kind of help you figure out what your strengths are in terms of, you know, how to organize and how to, you know, be an activist and not just somebody who's really mad on social media, which, you know, totally get it if you've got to go off. We all do. But more than anything, we kind of want to make sure we're taking action in some way, right? And that isn't to say, like, if you are feeling devastated today, take that time for yourself. Do something nice for yourself. You know, taking a nap or eating ice cream or just going for a really long, angry walk, listening to metal, like whatever that thing is you need for you today. Please, please, please be sure you do it. This isn't to say like, let's go, go, go. Although if you are in that mindset, and maybe you are, then let's go, go, go. But basically, yeah, we've got 3 piles, and each one is going to kind of explain, sorry, you hear my dogs snoring in the background, which kind of path you should take in organizing, or how you can kind of help contribute to the like overall betterment of our world, which is currently a hellscape. So we've got pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. Again, sorry, one of my dogs is snoring in the background. If you like to pick with crystals and such, I've got that as well. For pile 1, we've got, oops, where the heck is my camera? The Desert Rose. For pile 2, we've got this cute little seashell. Sorry. Oh, shit. Yeah, see, I'm very good. Off to a great start. Little cute seashell. Very, very cute. My dog is really snoring. And then for pile 3, we've got this ooh, raw citrine. I think it's really pretty. Got it a while ago. It was actually a gift from a coworker, like literally a decade ago. And that's pile 3. Yeah, so go ahead and meditate on those for a second. Let the soothing sounds of my dog snoring lull you into a hypnagogic state. So you pick the pile that serves you best, that gives you the message that you need to kind of help activate your power, organize your thoughts, and turn, you know, start to cultivate power and to take back power. All right, and with that, we will get started. All right, if you picked pile 1, that is the Desert Rose. That's this guy. She's really pretty. It's actually selenite, which I did not know till very recently. And selenite is very cleansing. What's really interesting, I think, about the Desert Rose is that all these little lines are formed over just hundreds of years from sand and wind, which I think is really cool. And I know 100 years sounds like a lot of time, but comparatively to a lot of crystals, which take like thousands of years or whatever, these form very quickly. So I'm getting some wanting to move fast vibes already from pile 1. I also pulled from a Dream Oracle card deck, a card for you. Heyo! Nudity! Okay, so here you have a figure who kind of doesn't look like they are ashamed for showing off their bod. They've got this really, really pretty shawl or scarf, kind of draped around them, but it looks like it's almost floating. And it's really, really big, which I think is kind of interesting. It's like still connected to the ground. So what I'm kind of getting with this is, start doing porn. No, I'm kidding. With nudity, it's just kind of like you're ready to kind of bear your true face, and really just ready to kind of like not hide or, you know, go about this in a, I don't want to use the word delicate, but you're ready to just go all in, you know, like you have nothing to hide. You're coming in with like your heart on your sleeve, or, you know, not your sleeve because you don't have any sleeves because you're naked. So that is another insight. That's another insight. All right, so first I'm going to start with, these are the Holly Simple Tarot. I love these. I got these forever ago. Make sure I see everything. All right. Two major arcana already. Okay. Interesting. The Son of Wands, this is the same as the Knight of Wands, if you will. Yeah, and it's all about passion. So you can kind of see with this card, hold on, actually, let me lift it up so you can see the details. Clearly very single-focused, single-minded. So maybe right now there's, you know, something you've already been working with, or one goal that you now have in mind in terms of activating your organizing power, or, you know, working to better the world in whatever, you know, realm is yours. And with this passion, I'm kind of seeing like, you know, a very image-based sort of thing. This isn't to say like you're a slacktivist or just like posting, you know, for the clout or whatever, but I think it's like that you kind of recognize that there is an importance when you're spreading your message and making sure it's packaged correctly. And this little guy, you can kind of see, just go real close, his little third eye is going boop, 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 like it's sending off signals. So like whatever this kind of like forward thinking momentum you've got going on, it's sending out, and like there are other people also like trying to connect with you. So maybe just start reaching out on social media, and sometimes it's easier to be like, how do I help? Maybe instead of that, like start like looking with like targeting what's parts of like organizing or activism you kind of work in, and reaching out to those people. You know, Twitter's a great place for that. Interesting. And then, but you've also got the Hermit too. So I love this guy. And I think that kind of goes hand in hand with, you know, maybe you're not like exactly marching out on the front lines, because you're kind of in the background, quietly contemplating and, you know, working on like bigger picture narratives or like messaging for your cause. Then we've got the Five of Pentacles in reverse. And usually like the Five of Pentacles upright is like about grief, like feeling like left out in the cold sort of thing, insecurity. But here I feel like maybe you had kind of been in that headspace of like unsure, like maybe you've previously, you know, tried working with a cause or something like that, and you kind of felt, you know, chewed up and spit out or something like that. But that kind of feeling is going away because you're kind of finding your niche, like within a group, might be more behind the scenes, if that makes sense. Because yeah, next we've got the Sun, which is an awesome card. And he's just like, or they're just vibing. They're like, yeah, you know, they don't look like ecstatic, and they don't look, you know, scared. They're doing what they do. They're existing, and that just by existing in itself, the way it is, it's providing so much life, the Sun. Just kind of came to me. Fun, warmth, love, positivity, enlightenment, and vitality. Interesting. I want to see what we've got. The Father of Cups in reverse, or the King of Cups in reverse. Trying to think, because usually the King of Cups is someone who's, I don't want to use the word mastered their emotions, but have mastered the ability to read their emotions and to kind of transmute them into positive energy. And this in reverse, it might suggest a little more scattered energy in terms of that. So I think like in conjunction with the Sun card, what it's really saying is, if you feel like kind of like all over the place in terms of like, I don't know how to help, maybe you do have like a lot of different skill sets, and maybe that's why you're kind of like burnt out before, like left out in the cold, because you kind of were all over the place and scattering your energy. And the Sun is saying, what's something that makes you think of fun right now? As silly as that sounds, what's something that makes you think of sun? What's something that makes you think of sun? What's something that makes you think of fun? Because I think that will help you hone in a little more on how you're supposed to kind of harness your energy, especially with the Hermit in mind. It's kind of, they're so zen. And I like to think of these like antlers as kind of like antennas. So like, even if they are like, not necessarily like out on the streets protesting or anything like that, they're still connected. Like they're like antennas, you know, they're still receiving these messages, because look at that third eye, wide open. Now I've got, oh, I love this next deck. The next deck I'm using, it's a crow deck. A crow tarot, if you will. Ooh. King of Swords, reversed. Can you see these? Yes, great. Three of Cups. Page of Pentacles. Ten of Swords in reverse. And the Devil. I like how the Devil's right underneath it. Yeah, it's fun. Very fun, even though this is not, you know, a tarot card. Take a look at these. These cards are just so freaking pretty. So freaking pretty. So the King of Swords in reversed. Again, the Kings are kind of, you know, it's a more masculine energy. Usually in the upright position, it kind of signals a mastery of something. In this case, interesting course. The wands, or not the wands, geez Louise, I am mixing up my words. Words, air, swords. So clearly upside down. Maybe right now you feel like you're a little tongue-tied, or you used to be able to talk about things you're passionate about with a very swift and cutting tongue, and right now you might feel like a little more fumbly, which is totally understandable given where we are at. I think it's interesting with the Son of Wands too, because this is such like a forward-looking a knight, action-oriented. Again, wands and swords, fire, air, very fast energies. I'm just looking in the guidebook really quickly, just so beautiful too. For the King of Swords in reversed, I'm not as familiar with that one. There's my dog snoring. Yeah, strategic and logical, usually upright, right? And definitely a king is like, you know, they're usually in a place of power, right? They're royalty. There's definitely like their potential bully energies. Interesting. So like manipulative. So here I'm seeing that while you're like very, okay, interesting. Like you're very one-minded, right? In terms of like maybe your beliefs, which, I mean, obviously, to be very clear, people should be able to have access to reproductive healthcare legally and safely. And you are obviously allowed to feel that anger and sort of righteousness in talking to those, you know, who do not feel similarly. But while this light is like very powerful and pointed, it's very powerful and pointed. And sometimes I feel like that sort of passion can quickly morph into a sort of ego trippy sort of thing where it feels good to yell at people online. And don't get me wrong, sometimes you just got to kind of ratio somebody. I get it. But this is suggesting to me that maybe that's not the way your energy is best spent. because then you, right under here, you have the Hermit and the Three of Cups. Three of Cups is all about your emotions, and it's like just celebration, friendship. So I'm sort of getting, if you take time to kind of breathe a little bit, despite, your clear and very warranted anger or despair or rage or sadness or hopelessness. But it's saying, take that time to go within and, connect with people that fill your cup. Because then, yeah, you've got the Page of Pentacles, which is, across here from the Five of Pentacles reversed, which, maybe you had been left out in the cold, but like this is saying you have people here too. Like if you're feeling you're like kind of like on this war path by yourself and like getting nowhere, take some time for yourself for a second, reconnect with friends. Maybe there's like a triggering thing where, somebody in your organizing space, maybe left you out or whatever. But the Page of Pentacles is kind of a reminder to, be open again, right? The page, or like sometimes represented as a princess. A lot of people use the word naive, but I like to use the word just trusting, which I know can be very difficult. So I do think that this is a strength that a lot of people kind of tend to view as a weakness. And I just think that's silly because it's easy to shut yourself off, right? So yeah, sorry, I'm just looking through the book again for the Page of Pentacles. This is a really beautiful card too. I'll show you really quickly. I love the flowers. And they look very serene, like they're looking towards the pentacle that's floating, but like it's near them. They don't feel like they have to grab it, right? And look at this little guy. He kind of looks like he's looking up to our crow right here in the Page of Pentacles. In the abundant, lush garden, the Page of Pentacles sits on a flowering branch. She allows the energy of blossoming life to enter her spirit as she gazes into the pentacle. Envisioning the path she wishes to travel, she holds in her mind's eye a clear vision for that which she wants to manifest. The Page of Pentacles' message is that to achieve the success you want, you will need to spend time developing a clear view and preparing for where the road may lead. With this skill, you will be able to achieve your desire, and this is where the magic happens. Also interesting. Okay, so I'm thinking, I just kind of got this too while reading from the guidebook. This vision, like they're saying, go back within to kind of like find that clear vision. I'm getting here with the Pentacles and kind of like being aware of that, kind of like how image is important is like fundraising. So maybe that is a skill you have. Maybe that is something you can kind of help with in an organizing space. Is like, just because I know money is a taboo topic and we all kind of have weird relationships with it, but we need it. So it's a very, very, very important job. So I was just kind of getting that a little bit. Here we've got, ooh, we love it, the Ten of Swords in reverse. Ten of Swords, I know this is like a very dismal looking card, but it is in reverse. And 10 is like a number of completion and release. Yeah, I'm getting there's like maybe something like you tried to get involved in organizing before and it didn't pan out the way you wanted it to. But this is saying that that era is over, is what I'm getting. And it's quickly over. Like you are able to get over it quickly because the swords are air. Seeing what else the little guidebook has to say. And I will say, if you are enjoying this, please give a thumbs up, give a subscribe, all that jazz. Just because, yeah, I've never really done this before, and I've just really always loved tarot. And I felt this was a cool way to kind of explore it a little more, and I'll keep doing it if people like it. Okay, guidebook says, when reversed, the Ten of Swords may indicate that you are focusing only on the negative, looking for reasons to distrust, right? Like we were saying before, maybe something kind of went wonky. The warning here is, don't let fear of betrayal prevent you from living fully. If you direct too much attention towards this feeling, you risk manifesting your worries. So I think that kind of goes with here, like if you are in the like warpath of like yelling at people and being right, like you will be like, oh, I was right about all these people being evil and making this thing happen. You know, do you want to be happy or do you want to be right? question I ask myself a lot. And then we've got the devil, which this card is just so metal. Like, I know people kind of panic with the devil, but look at this card. Oh, so freaking cool. Little bluebird is chained up to this crow wearing a ram skull with obviously the upside down pentagram, which is like, you know, rock and roll and evil, quote unquote. But again, this is a card all about transformation. Like, you're letting go of these like past betrayals, like, because really, let's look at this little bluebird. Sorry, I'm just looking at him. It doesn't even look like he's actually chained to it. Like, if you really look, like, it looks like it's almost like a shadow. You know? Does that make sense? Like, you can let go, little bluebird of happiness. But since this is a major arcana, and you do get 3, 1, 2, 3 major arcana, so clearly you've got a lot of power in you and a lot of passion, I feel, in righteousness, which is, you know, again, like, it is a tool, and there's definitely a way to wield it and to use it, to make sure that your energy is well spent, and also so you don't just lose your mind, because, you know, maybe you could be really good at something, but that doesn't mean you should do it. Like, you might be really good at ratioing people. I don't know why I keep getting that, like, just being like kind of like stuck in a very negative social media back and forth that really isn't productive, more so than it is a way for you to kind of blow off steam. I don't know why I keep getting that. Where are you? The devil, which is number 15. The devil. Let's hold this up so you can see it. All right. So, perched in the middle of a river of blood, hell yeah. Atop his latest prey, the devil is disinterested in the lives he has destroyed. His presence, see, this is, you know, you don't care who it is, you just want to yell, right? At times, to catch his prey, he channels his charming nature and allows the unsuspecting victim to willingly follow, only to discover later he has taken their joint and replaced it with despair. Chained, yet able to free herself. Oh, there she goes. If she sincerely wishes. It's a little bird symbolizing purity and a free spirit that has succumbed to the forceful demands of the devil. This card can mean that there is an addiction that is preventing you from finding real freedom and happiness. It may also indicate a fear of change. This card points out that the chains that you have bound may be of your own creation. Right? And then, like, this is, like, it kind of goes with the dream, too. It's like, you want to be free. Like, you have this capacity in you. So right now, I think the biggest sort of message I'm getting, pile 1, is that you do, like, there's so much passion and knowledge, right? Like, such a honed in knowledge that you have, and an ability to speak and kind of cut people with your words. But, like, you know, there's 2 sides to the sword. So make sure you are wielding your language, your words, in a way that is beneficial, that fills your cup, that fills other people's cup, right? And again, I kind of got that idea or message of, you know, something with fundraising or making, you know, sure money, or maybe if, looking into, like, following the money, if, like, you're, like, more of, like, an investigative person, like, if you do, like, that kind of, like, digging into people's social media past or whatever, maybe you can use that for positive in terms of, you know, journalistic endeavor, or, like, finding out, you know, follow the money sort of thing in terms of politics is kind of what I'm getting. Oh, I almost forgot. And then I've got, oh my gosh, the 2 best. Well, not the 2 best. I just really like these cards a lot. I say about every deck. It's the Celtic Tree Oracle. And I got 2 Oracle cards for you to kind of give you wisdom and guidance to go out with. Okay, we've got, and I don't know how to pronounce Celtic, so I just think that's Coed Grove 21. And you got 6. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but I'll say Huathe Hawthorne. Both really pretty. 6. All right. Let me get a drink of water really quickly so I'm not, like, getting all raspy. I want y'all to hear what I have to say. Oh my God, you just hear my, maybe you didn't hear it. Maybe I can only hear my dog snoring, but she's going to town. Okay, so with Coed Grove, which is 21. Let me see. Also, a really, really lovely guidebook that came with this one. I'll put these in the comments or the description box. Y'all know how the game goes. 21. Let's have some fun. Date October 31st. Ooh, it's a Halloween card. Totems, angels, and guardian spirits. Deities and guides. Oops, wrong card. Although interesting. Unity consciousness, the universe, God, goddess. All that is the ancestors. It's such a pretty card. Look at how like it kind of like, it's literally a path to light, right? It's not to say just go blindly and follow whatever, but I think it's as cheesy as it's gonna sound, you know how to follow light, right? You just need to allow yourself to see it. So you are asked to reconnect to what is spiritually meaningful to you and give your gratitude. This is a time to consider the sacred and connect with the spirit source. Take time to sit in silence. Listen for messages from the ancestors. I think this could especially be too, since like words. I feel like you're just like a wordsmith by trade. Ancestors could also be like, you know, going back and reading books from people who are organizing, you know, in the since forever, 50s, 60s, 70s. Just because, you know, people have been in this fight a long time, and a lot of folks have, you know, big wealths of knowledge that are worth listening to and incorporating into your praxis, if you will. Right, because yeah, the grove represents your community. Spend time with like-minded others in ritual and ceremony. Reconnect with your source together in celebration and with gratitude. And it also comes, I really like this guidebook because it also comes with like a full-ass message from this guy. So I'll read it for you really quickly because it's so pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty deck. Ooh, this is about the collective. We are the grove and we send you love. We hold you and ground you. What is your favorite grove? Wherever it is, a grove of trees is a holy place. Make time to find a group of trees and sit among them, feeling their sacred energy. Or simply close your eyes and imagine yourself standing in a grove of your favorite trees. Attune yourself to the inner silence and open the portal of the grove with an invitation. Ask the trees if they will spend some time with you. Oh, I like that. You gotta spend some time with the trees, y'all. We appreciate such an invitation. We lead you straight into your heart, into the realm of no space and no time, the dimensions of higher love, understanding, insight, and possibility. Right, with our hermit here. Cards don't lie, y'all. Feel into this dimension. Here at the portal of the grove, yeah, like you're, you know, entering a new space. And within your heart, we invite you to open to light. We come from the expanded awareness and we return to expanded awareness. I love how it closes. We will help you know exactly what is right for you in the next moment and all the moments to come. So yeah, when you kind of feel like all over the place and like you've got a million knives in the air, go to your quiet place for a second, right? To fill your cup. And then the other advice from the oracle we got, 6, which again is a name I'm going to hopefully pronounce correctly. Hoatha Hawthorne? Probably not, but we'll see. And let's see what this one's all about. Keywords are cleansing and purification. See? Chastity and abstinence. Okay, I'm really getting like, get off your phone for a little bit. Throw it in the ocean. Well, don't, but like, maybe set a timer when you're on social media if it triggers you. Sabbatical, preparation, magic, protection of the sacred marriage. Oh, ooh la la. Hawthorne asks you to spend some sacred time in preparation for a meaningful birth experience. And that doesn't necessarily mean a biological birth. It can mean like a creative project or, you know, a new avenue or way of organizing. Let go of old stories that are painful. See what I'm saying? Forgive. You're encouraged to set aside quiet time and go within. Clean out old and unnecessary thought patterns and unhelpful emotional patterns and let them go. You may be ready to let go of behavioral ruts or habits. I've been there. I'm just saying this, y'all. Like I've been there. But give yourself a break. You don't have to You're not going to change anyone's mind over the internet directly, which I know sounds a little nefarious. But when's the last time somebody yelled at you and you changed your mind? Just think about it. And also, the card also speaks of reconnecting to the magic and mystery of nature. Do you believe in fairies? You can reconnect to unseen realms of the elementals. Close your eyes and go within and recall what it felt like to be a child and see the world through innocent eyes and with a joyful heart. Okay, I'm really getting this too, because it's like, if you do want your message to be clear and actually reach people, you have to kind of like, not to like say like, right, like you would for a child. Just remember, not everyone is in the headspace you're in, right? And if you are trying to persuade people, you know, you have to kind of come from their perspective. And for some people that have, you know, no idea what's going on, it might be like talking to a child, but you're never really mad at a child for not knowing something, right? Because they're a kid. And I know it can be really infuriating when adults are oblivious. But thinking of the intention of your words, what do you want them to do? Do you want them to make you feel good? Or do you want them, and that's not to say they can't feel good and also change somebody's mind, but I'm saying don't just use it as like a means of catharsis. Let's see what the message is from our Hawthorne. Yeah, can you remember how it felt to be an innocent child full of awe and wonder? It is time to renew your belief in the unseen realm of nature, as this realm is real as the high whistle that your dog can hear, but you cannot. Yeah, so like you might be like, again, with like the pentacles here too, like very attached to this material reality, which of course like is allowed. That's why we're here. But when like people aren't as attached to everything that you are, like it kind of might throw you for a loop, is what I'm getting. Close your eyes and remember. Enjoy the babbling brook and the little animals that live at the foot of the tree. Return to the natural world of magic. Return to the slow and steady beat of the heart of Gaia. Return to the paradise that she is. Return to the secret majesty that lives within and without you. Yeah, so take that time to kind of reset and fill your cup. Have fun with it too. Like you don't have to be like, okay, now I have to meditate and now I have to do yoga and now I have to do breathing exercises. I mean, unless, you know, that's what you want to do and it makes you feel good. You can be a little silly with it. Maybe, you know, dance naked in your home if that's available or comfortable to you. Yeah, definitely take social media breaks in terms of like following the news and keeping up on everything. Like it's just going to keep you, it might feel like you're in the know, but it's just kind of inundating you a little bit. So, you know, take time to fill your cup. And again, wow, that went really long. Not that I'm upset or anything, just had a lot of fun with it. So again, if you enjoyed this or want to hear my hands see more of these, give a like, a comment, a subscribe, whatever your heart desires. Thanks. Yeah, this is Queen Astro saying, you know, take care of yourself, and I hope you have a lovely day. Thanks, y'all. All right, pile 2, Cuckoo Kachu. You picked this little guy. Sorry, my hands are very shaky. I think he's really pretty. And actually, before preparing this pile for pile 2, I actually just held it up to my ear and I heard the ocean was just like very soothing. So I got very soothing vibes from this pile. Which right now you might be like, soothing girl? All right, so I also picked a dream. Ooh, I almost revealed it before saying. Dream Oracle deck card. And I got House 13. This kind of looks like this figure looks like they were almost forced out, uprooted. It looks like such a pretty house, but almost like clouds, like so it almost being how, you know, also reminds me of House Moving Castle. 13, I think it's classically like an unlucky number. So maybe, yeah, I mean, understandably, maybe you're feeling a lot of despair right now. And like, you know, a rug was pulled out from underneath you. Maybe you have already been kind of working hard in like the ocean, like you've been deep in this cause or this organization you've been working with, or, you know, this sort of activism journey you've been on. And that isn't to say like activism is all about you, but I'm saying, you know, the way you're finding your strengths in serving, you know, the rest of the community and making this world not a shithole. So yeah, I think so far I'm getting that, like, you've been in this a while, I feel like, is what I'm kind of getting here. And the first 5 tarot are from the Holly Simple Tarot deck. Very cute. I don't even know, actually, this one's made anymore, to be honest. Okay. Okay. So this is, you know, a reading for how to sort of activate that power in you, or how to best use your energy to organize and things like that. And I know anybody familiar with tarot might see these kind of like, oh, I don't know, because we've got, but you know, don't panic. We've got the 3 of Cups in reverse, the Mother of Wands or the Queen of Wands in reverse, the Ace of Wands in reverse, so a lot of wand fire energy, the 2 of Swords, and then we've got Temperance in reverse. It's interesting because, like, what I'm kind of getting is these are all kind of feelings of, you know, 3 of Cups reversed is feeling kind of lost, or maybe like getting a little excessive in your partying sort of thing. And, you know, you've got the Mother of Wands in reversed, and she's usually I'm trying to think of the word, like a very, not buoyant, but like exuberant card. And again, she's got that very like focused energy. But I think what's interesting too about this card is it's like her eyes are not following the beam of light, and this little guy is asleep. So I don't think this energy is you, though. An Ace of Wands reverse, you know, it's like a powerlessness, like the hand's not even attached. Kind of feels like a fire is out of control. A decision to be made, like, I'm getting that in conjunction with this calm, like, and it's really, all of these paint a picture of who you're meant to serve. You know what I mean? Like, all of these are the people or communities your energy is guiding you to serve. Like the people who feel like, yeah, like they've been uprooted, or any choice is a bad choice, really, right? Like people who are kind of like over electoral politics, which it's like, I get it. So I think this is more about the people who you are going to serve, or how in your organizing or activism space you're going to be able to best utilize your energy and skill set. But let's bring the crows in to see, like, 'cause I feel like this is who you're helping or who you're working with. But let's see. This is a 3 of Pentacles. A lot of 3s. And 13. What is this? 6 of Cups in reverse. 6 of Cups is a nostalgia card. Often one that like harkens back to childhood. And I'm kind of getting people are wanting something back. But maybe something that didn't really exist to begin with. Oh yeah, there's a 10 of Pentacles, or not Pentacles, Cups in reverse. It's such a pretty card. Boom, the World. Oh, look at that awesome card. And it's got 2 infinity signs in a circle. Oh, what an awesome card. So powerful. Let's see. That's my, like, I knew it. Oh, and then, oh, the Hanged. Oh, okay. Pause for a second here. Excuse me. Okay, hold on. The world. These two are you. I just have that feeling. Pile 2. That's not to say you haven't experienced any of these, but if anything, you have experienced it. Like, you've experienced the world. Like, you've experienced so many ups and downs in your own personal life that I think you're able to empathize much easier with a lot of people than, you know, others are who, you know, maybe just grew up, you know, and followed one path. You've done the dance, right? Yeah, keyword successful, completions, end of the journey, wholeness. Dancing with a laurel wreath, the crow celebrates. She's surrounded by the 4 fixed signs, right? We've got Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Where are you, guy? Up there. The 4 seasons that mark the passage of time. The last card of the major arcana and represents a successful and fruitful end of a journey, one that you've charted since your very first step. World symbolizes a time of great joy and relief because the hard work you have invested has finally paid off. It's time to revel in the glory of a job well done. All right. So either you're evil and help people row. No, I'm kidding. You are not evil. And you would not be here if that were you. So there's a lot of despair going on, right? There's a lot of people like feel like they don't have a lot of choice, or that there's so much power, or the choices they do have aren't great. And there's a sort of escapism element happening, which maybe could be, no, I'm not getting that. I'm like, maybe you'll be an entertainer, like, but I'm not really getting that vibe. I do get like a sort of teacher vibe though with a hanged man. You know, it's a very contemplative, sometimes it's a card sort of associated with like indecision, but paired with the world. That's not how I see it. I feel like these are all things you've experienced, and in some way you are going to help people out of these dark sort of feelings. Especially with all the cups and like in all the, I feel like a lot of people's cups are like not full, and that's something you are able to bring a sort of stillness, that they don't feel like they're wobbling their cups all over the place and spilling everything. Interesting. Very, very interesting. And what's also really interesting is I feel like this reading in comparison to at least pile 1 just feels less clear, but also like less messagey, if that makes sense. Like the first one had a lot to say, and I think that's because pile 1 usually has a lot to say. But right here, I feel like you kind of, right, you've like built a house before, and you've maybe, and the thing I think with this figure too that's interesting is they don't look shocked so much as they look like they packed up, right? So it's not like they got to where they thought their house would be and it was gone. It's like they knew it would happen. So I think maybe today's decision wasn't too much of a surprise to you. But how does that feed into your energy of how you're supposed to organize? Well, let's go to, I drew 2. Actually, let me see really quickly before I do that, the Hanged Man here, just because I kind of went off my gut, but I want to see what the book says as well. It's a really pretty guidebook. Oh, they're all at the beginning, right? All the big guys. And yeah, if you're liking this so far, please feel free to leave a comment. That like button, subscribe button, you know, all those are good buttons. And I would appreciate it. Excuse me. Okay, so the Hanged Man, delay, letting go, waiting to decide. Element water. See, again with the feelings. I don't know, I just pointed the 3 of Pentacles, which is actually kind of a cheerful card that I just kind of glazed right over, huh? Let's go back to that actually really quickly. I feel like with the ocean, like you generally have like a calm vibe, but with this reading, I'm like, oh yeah, this thing, you know, some things might get lost in the peripheral every now and then for you. Just because you have, I think, experienced so much in terms of trying to make the world a better place and, I don't know, let people have access to their bodies or whatever. Oh, man, guys. You know what? We're going to do it, though. We're going to do it. Okay. 3 of Pentacles. The crafty crows worked together to build a structure enabling them to easily reach the cherries. The 3 of Pentacles encourages you to continue developing the new skills needed for working with a group on a common goal. Do not give in to fear or feel disheartened if progress is slow. It may be an indication that you need to bring in a little help in the form of a mentor, but nonetheless, you will experience success. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm getting here. Yeah, there's a lot of scattered energy, but because you have, you know, been around the block, you've experienced all of these things yourself, you are going to help teach people how to organize their energy and how to, and their power, and how to grow collective power. I think it's kind of part of your mission, is what I'm getting. So yeah, hopefully these 2 Celtic tree oracle cards will give more insight into how you're doing that. Let's see. Oh, so pretty. Okay, so first we've got the New and Ash in reverse, which is number 5. And then we've got, I don't speak Celtic, so I'm going to try. The Unferza Gurs, for 17. Also very, very beautiful. I do think it's interesting, too, that, like, they kind of, like, transition from the green to the yellow next to each other. So I'm trying to hold it. You see it. All right. So 5, the Noon Ash. Let's see. This one also comes with a very, very beautiful guidebook. I don't know why I went into that semi-brogue. All right. Let's see. Help us, trees. Tell us how Pile 2 can help people with scattered energies. The microcosm and the macrocosm. See? Like exactly like with the world. Reflections, mirrors, uniting inner and outer worlds, as above, so below. Okay, so yeah, it says you may be feeling isolated, but like, again, I don't feel like this is you. I feel like this is, okay. I think because of this, I'm sorry, I'm just reading this book and I'm like, this isn't, it's about perhaps you are struggling with an addiction that has gotten you into trouble and have hit your bottom. If that does resonate with you, take it. But I think more than anything, like I said, this is about lifting other people up, other people who feel isolated or people who haven't been dealing with their demons. So maybe, like, honestly, maybe you are doing sort of like an empathy training for organizers or activists, you know, just because, like, a lot of spaces can be very white and straight and cishet, and as inclusive as they can try to be, it can still be, you know, kind of default to a patriarchal sort of system. And I think, you know, people can kind of feel depleted after that. And I think, you know, with the emotion, and again, with the world and the Hanged Man, I think you are kind of brought to show people like the macrocosm and the microcosm how to kind of build bridges within the community to build more power and to not get burnt out, honestly. Is kind of what I'm getting here. Let's see what the message is. I've come to tell you that it is safe to dive into your interior world. Here you can receive guidance, healing, and assurance. If you find that you are not moving forward, try to practice patience and keep your intentions clear. Again, yeah, like with the Hanged Man, I think that patience is something you do have a lot of, which I think would also be beneficial in this when you're trying to help people navigate their own emotions. I think for a lot of people, you'd be like, how do they not get it? But that is not you, I don't think, because again, you have been here before where you've kind of, you know, gone a little over the edge and maybe drank a little too much. That's our Temperance card. Or, you know, felt powerless, or, you know, but now you're teaching people how to, again, build that collective power and work together to get that cherry. What else? This message says, sometimes restraint is necessary as the universe lines up the building blocks for what you want to manifest. I'm here to teach you patience and faith. Sometimes you're asked to mend fences or clean up your act before things can fall into place. Forgiving self and others is important. Try to find the time to help someone else. This is the best medicine for a broken heart. Yeah, so maybe something about infighting and organizing you're supposed to help with, which I know sounds like petty, but that's how rifts start and that's how power deteriorates. So emotional health and maintaining your community's emotional health is vital in terms of not just building, but maintaining power. In 17, we've got own furs and gorse. I probably am mutilating that word. Sorry, Celtic tree. Okay. Keywords are fulfillment and abundance. Oh, sweetness. Hope, persistence, links the inner and outer worlds. Gathering together what you need to ensure progress. See? And like, I think the thing too is this is so flippin' beautiful. But it's because it's got all these tiny, beautiful leaves and petals. But you need all the tiny little pretty leaves to be alive and bright to make the whole thing pretty. It represents abundance, generosity. Share what you have with others. So your experience, kind of like that knowledge you've gleaned from kind of sitting with it. And also it says this is a persistent bush that can grow almost anywhere. So like even if people are feeling like at their most depleted, right, and their lowest and most out of power, or like decisions are between a rock and a hard place, this guy can grow between a rock and a hard place. Yeah, how do you create the nectar of the honey in your life? Yeah, link to inner and outer worlds. Again, yeah, makes sense. Inner and outer worlds. The link is a doorway through which we receive abundance and love and maintain connection with the mysteries that keep our hopes alive, no matter what trials or tribulations come out of our way. Yeah, I'm surprised, honestly, I don't see the strength card here because you've got a lot of it. Yeah, oh yeah, the bush suggests you develop the skill of collecting. You're gathering around you what you need to reach your goal or destination. You're collecting what you need to reap results. Like the magpie is attracted to golden treasures, you two are gathering together what is valuable to aid you in your pursuits. Consider what you are creating, what you are collecting about you. Do you cultivate sweetness or distress and drama? If you have a goal, collect good people around you for support. The gorse ensures fertility and the renewal of the life force, right? A renewal of life force right now feels like a lot of, again, very understandably, people are feeling maybe adrift at sea. It is a time of new ideas and plans. Keep the golden hue of hope. Persist with faith. So again, biggest sort of, I don't want to say advice, but I guess energies I'm feeling here are, you've been through it. But because you've been through it, you are able to help others get through it. And like, especially with this gorse, I'm not sure how to say it, but it's very beautiful. And it's all about collective power, right? The Three of Pentacles. So I think right now, one of the best uses of your time, of course, is to take care of yourself and make sure that, like, you know, your house doesn't feel super or all the way uprooted. Not to say you're gonna have to feel perfect, because then that just doesn't happen with people, right? But yeah, then take the time to not like collect people, but, you know, reach out to people, refill their cup, teach them how when we work together, we can make something beautiful. Yeah, and that is what I have for you, pile 2. If you enjoyed this reading, please give a little, keep touching the cards, I'm like, please give a like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. Because yeah, this was my first time doing this. I've been doing tarot for a while, just for myself, my friends. And after the Roe v. Wade news today, I was just kind of compelled to do this, just because I know it can be easy to panic and just doom scroll forever. So I hope you all have a wonderful day. Please take care of yourselves and those around you. And hopefully we will talk soon. Boy, pile 2. All right. If you are here, you are pile number 3, which was the citrine. Oh, so pretty. Sorry, I'm like trying to make... There we go. I think I got it from an old coworker while he was in Joshua Tree. And he's like, it made me think of you because you like witch stuff. This is like a decade ago. But I love how it catches the light. And citrine is such a powerful, like, stone of clarity and life force. Love it. Yeah, and this reading is to kind of see in this magical world we're in how you can make it less of a shithole. Just because, you know, there's a lot of not good stuff going on. But there's a lot of good stuff in it, in our world, and we can make space for it. I also drew a card from the Dream Oracle deck, and you got sweets. They look like they're having a good time. Even the guy serving the sweets is like, I'm gonna have one too. So I'm getting kind of like a, not like a fuck it attitude, because I feel like that's a little dismissive, but just a here and now sort of mentality, right? Again, with a citrine, that kind of makes sense. This sort of clarity in terms of enjoyment. Like, yes, there's a lot going on in the world, but we do have to be reminded to take that time to enjoy the sweet stuff. But also I see here, this one person's like, they haven't even finished the first one. They're like grabbing for a second, which I get it. I have definitely housed an entire sleeve of Oreos or pack, you know, who's whatever, in one sitting. But they're reaching when there's plenty more here. So it's like, interesting, just something to keep in mind. So colorful too. Oh, also this guy's I didn't realize he's a unicycle. Oh, they all are. That's fun. Sorry. You learn something new every time you look at this. Interesting. So yeah, let's start with, I'm going to put this guy here with the crystal. No, I want the crystal here because it's so pretty. Can you see it? Oh, of course, this is where my camera is blocked by the mount, so I can't see. Oh, there we go. I just want it to look cute is all, y'all. Cute for you. There we go. Oh, and if you heard that, that's my dog snoring in the background. So first I'm going to do the Holly Simple Tarot. This is actually a deck I got it as a gift a while back. I don't even know if it's in print anymore. I know the artist makes other cool stuff. Ooh, Judgment. Look at that guy. That's a intense card. 7 of Pentacles. The 4 of Wands. Sometimes I get the swords mixed up in this deck, admittedly. But these are Wands. Because these are swords. The 3 of Swords. And the Empress. Wow. So we got 2 major arcana off the bat. Ooh. Off the bat. Interesting. So I think what's so interesting is that the Judgment and Empress card closes off. Well, especially with this Judgment card in conjunction with the Sweets card, I think I'm kind of getting an energy of maybe you feel like you didn't do enough. Maybe you feel like you were kind of in that, you know, who cares? The world's going to, you know, explode in 20 years anyway. C'est la vie sort of thing. And maybe now you're feeling a little guilty because, like, you know, it's like head versus heart. They're going in 2 different directions. And the figure has their, you know, hands right under their heart space. So I'm having a feeling that maybe you feel like a little guilt surrounding this, especially with like the Seven of Pentacles, which is all about like investment, or, you know, like all the ducks are lined up. It kind of feels like if only sort of like mentality happening right now. And then with the Four of Wands, it's all about harmony, but then it's like, which is right next to the Three of Swords, which is like very traditionally like the grief, heartbreak, third party thing. Not that this is a, you know, romantic reading. And then with the Empress, which is such a beautiful, lovely card. You know, they're cradling a belly, which, you know, feels kind of poignant right now. But again, this isn't always like a child, like a human child. It could be, you know, birthing to an idea of movement. And especially like this, it's like the heart is shooting right to her, right? Like, oh, this is what I wanted, but I kind of been in my headspace a little bit, right? Maybe. So I think that these cards feel like mostly like your energy, like you feel like this is what you should have been doing. Like you should have been, you know, working in harmony with people and, you know, kind of lining up your tools or investing your time in a certain way. And now it's kind of resulted in this crisis. First, I want to say it's not your fault. If you are feeling any personal responsibility, take time for yourself to heal that. You know, it takes a million pieces to make a puzzle. So yeah, I'm good. I want you to feel, I'm sorry if you feel that way. But feelings are tools as well, just like everything else. So if you're feeling that guilt or shame, we're here to turn it into action. Right? We're here to turn it into something fruitful. So let's go with the crows and see. I'm using next I'm showing you as if you can see. There's crows on the back of these cards, for the front of these cards. We've got the Hermit in reverse. He's out in the snow. Ace of Wands also in reverse. Ace of Swords. Wow, Ace of Swords also in reverse. A lot of strong energy. And then I've got is this a 5? Yes, the 5 of Swords. Oh, wow. Holy smokes, y'all. The Empress and then the Empress. Are you kidding me? Dang. Wow, this reading is kind of like blowing my mind a little bit, y'all. Because, yeah, I'm getting that energy that you feel bad. There was something more you could do, but you're like busy indulging in something. And that's not to be like, yeah, you should have done something. I'm saying that's maybe how you feel right now. That's not to, you know, assign goodness or badness to said indulgence. But I'm also getting like, you feel guilty, but like there's also some stuff you had to take care of for you. Like, so maybe this wasn't like, I should have been doing this. Like you were doing this just maybe for your own life, right? And with this, it's like, you know, what's the saying? It's like, choose to love, money, health, or whatever. It's like it feels like sometimes there can be a lot to juggle and you do need to take like that rest. Like you can see with the Four of Wands, they're all sleeping, or at least they have their eyes closed, right? Interesting. Yeah, because I feel like you have taken a lot of time to maybe look at, because again, I'm getting that like the citrine, like that clarity, that focus. That usually is a really powerful tool for you. And you've been looking at it just to kind of see how you can use it better, because maybe it has led to crisis, especially the heart. And then again, this isn't to say like it has to be like romantic. I mean, maybe it is. Maybe somebody you were working with pooped on your heart, and I'm sorry if that happened. But what I'm getting is whatever you were feeling guilty about, or you feel like you took time away, right? And you're feeling like I should have done something else. Right now I'm looking at the guidebook for the Crow Tarot. And again with this Hermit, out in the snow, kind of on this tree. I'm going to turn it right up for a second though. I think what's interesting is when it's right side up, the star's below it, the Star of David. But let's see what the good old guidebook says. Meditation, time alone, enlightenment, wisdom. The reversed Hermit suggests that you have retreated not for self-discovery, but instead escaped day-to-day challenges that have left you feeling overwhelmed, right? Spending too much time alone may lead to feeling isolated or self-absorbed. Ask yourself if you are recharging or retreating. And I do get the sense that you were recharging, but maybe, you know, with a dabble of hedonism. What I think is really interesting too, right now, again, back to back. And I know some people be like, oh, reversals, but they're not always negative, right? They're tools. And tarot's not like, you know, make or break. It's a tool, like, so see how you feel and journal about it. So Ace of Wands and Ace of Swords in reverse. Aces are very powerful. The wand is fire. Excuse me. And I'm scrolling through the book. Scrolling, geez Louise. Where are we? Ace of Wands. Reversed, the Ace of Wands can indicate there's a roadblock getting in your way. It is an excellent time to reflect on whether your journey is off track because of an external issue. For example, too many responsibilities, or if the problem is internal, such as lack of genuine desire. Hold on. Okay, let's go to the Ace of Swords. I have a hunch, but let's go to the Ace of Swords and see what it says. Reversed in this, again, the guidebook. Very, very pretty. And I'll put in, you know, the description box where it got all my stuff. Except for, I think this deck is discontinued. But I'll put the artist site down there. Ace of Swords suggests you're having a hard time completing a project because there's lack of vision, lack of vision. So right now, you know what I'm getting? Your job, even though there is a clarity you have, right? Like, I think in a way there is, you already know what you kind of have to do, right? Like, you already know you need to invest your time wisely and start building something and work in harmony with people to make something beautiful. But I think right now the best course of action for you might just be some time for self-reflection, just because maybe you have been spending some time alone, right? But who have you been serving? You know, in your head here, I know like it's kind of looks like it's coming out of the crown chakra a bit. But the way I'm kind of associating this is with like the, you know, the ego, like what your head's like autopilot tells you to do, like, okay, now I do this or do that. Yeah. Let me look. And then, yeah, you've got the Five of Swords, which again is usually, and just to be clear, this is not like a negative reading. This is not bad. You are not bad. We are all just in different spaces. Five of Swords, where are you at, dude? Okay, so there's one crow, a victorious crow. Oh, come here. That guy, you see him? Holds the swords of those he defeated. On the surface, the victory may look positive, but in the end, this could lead to loneliness and despair. The Five of Swords denotes a hard-fought battle that you won, but the cost may end up being higher than expected. It could be a loss of friendship at the expense of being right, or a conflict that will leave you feeling isolated. So yeah, I feel like maybe like whatever, not to get like too drama-oriented, whatever, if you had been previously working like in activism or organizing space, I feel like maybe there was a harmony, there was something you were building or something you thought was going to happen, and then there was kind of maybe some sort of betrayal. And it doesn't, again, doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. It could be like, you know, somebody but this is like, you know, third party vibes. You know, maybe you had a partnership with somebody and you guys were working on something and they introduced another person or group. And it feels like maybe there's some sort of falling out and you've kind of been, you know, and again, maybe this isn't organizing directly. Maybe there's just something else in your life going on of this equivalent that has prevented you from being able to like fully access your potential in terms of being able to harness your power and help the collective / greater good sort of thing. Because again, this is so wild. The Empress, you've got them like this. It's like, I'm getting like really like big mirror vibes. Some sort of connection, like other connection to another person. I don't know what that is, but I'm feeling it. And I think that the fact that they are kind of like bloop, bloop, shows you that there's an impermanence, right? So even if things, whatever, in whatever capacity left, you know, rubbed you the wrong way, or, you know, maybe like the political party you affiliate with, you're like, wow, they really don't, Democrats really don't do shit, do they? But so I feel like there's maybe been like a disillusionment too that is kind of happening with you. And I'm thinking, my hunch is that your energy right now is best spent recuperating, kind of, and, you know, looking at these feelings of judgment and feeling these feelings of betrayal, and kind of unwieldy power that seems to be at your fingertips, but inaccessible or at some sort of cost. I think you need to go from within and kind of like look at, you know, do some self-discovery in order. I know it's like silly, like, well, the whole reason I did this is so you would tell me. But I think you've been looking, and not to sound cheesy, but you don't need to look when you just need to sit and be quiet or journal. But that's my hunch, but we will confirm with these two cards from the Celtic Tree Oracle. Also comes with a very pretty guidebook. I love guidebooks. All right, I love guidebooks. Just cracking myself up. All right, we got 14, and I don't speak Celtic, so Strafe Blackthorn. It's really pretty. But again, see, I feel like when I was saying earlier, there's like some sort of connection. This is other two twos. Again, it doesn't have to be romantic. It can be, but some sort of partnership to look out for in this space. Or maybe if you immediately, as soon as I say that, I think of this person, you know, reflect on that relationship a little bit. See what about it made it pop into your head. And then we've got the Nigetal Reed reversed. Really pretty water plant. All right, so I love this book, this guidebook, because it gives you like little messages too, as well as like the reversal and the upright. Let's see. Oh, and then shares the month with Reed. That's so funny, because it is 14 and 13. Again, okay, there is some sort of personal connection thing happening with you. So maybe you just have to straighten that out before you start organizing. Let's see what we say. Protection, boundaries, fate, strife, negation, outside influences, disruption, learning from challenges, drawing on spiritual strength, new direction, or opportunity renewal. You are in need of protection, right? So that's what I'm saying. I'm like, maybe you're not supposed to be going outwards right now. Maybe you're supposed to be kind of going inwards right now. Energetically, the spiked like thorns of this tree can help, right? Oh, so see up there, it's got some spikies. This tree can help you to set clear, strong boundaries about what and whom you will let in and who you'll not. I think, yeah, so with all of this, if you're going to re-enter whatever space it is, cards right now are saying, you know, take a look at how you've kind of used escapism a little bit, which, you know, served its purpose, but ultimately isn't giving you the answers that you're looking for, right? Because the Hermit reverse maybe suggests that, you know, searching isn't going so hot. Again, that's not to say it isn't, or that it can't take time, right? progression isn't always linear. You're being told it's time for some heavy duty changes. All right. So with this indulgence, this judgment, like that you have, like, don't beat yourself up, right? Because then that's another story you have to get over. It's like, oh, I can't believe I did this, and now I have to stop this, whatever it is. The guilt is gonna hinder you, is what I'm getting. So just be like, that was then, this is now, and now I'm here, right? Ask your guides for support and spiritual strength. They are here for you and will answer your need. Right, so like, I feel like, again, with these reversed aces, maybe you were looking for like wisdom outside of yourself. And again, not to be cheesy, it was here all along. They cannot help you without your invitation, though, as they would never interfere with your free will, right? So like, even you're like, yeah, well, then why? I've been kind of, I don't know, poking a lot of smut or drinking or doing whatever it is, vice of your choice. Why didn't, my spirit step in? Because you're still, you got free will. Yeah, let's see. I am the strong and impenetrable blackthorn. This is a message. I challenge you to see any difficulty you may be experiencing as an opportunity to let go of a pattern that's harmful to you or is holding you back from growth and maturity. You may resist, but the sooner you look to your own attitudes and beliefs, the sooner you can get on with your life, right? So you've maybe been hanging out a while and you're like, I'm looking, what? When you run into trouble, look into your own mind, heart, and soul. Put your attention on what you are learning and what is required of you. Seek the higher road. Apply patience and be kind to yourself. Please be kind to yourself. And others. Breathe deeply and know that this too shall pass. Okay, and then in conjunction, let's see if the Negatul read. And this is 13 upside down, which I feel like it's like kind of inverting bad luck. So that's just a me thing. Okay, let's see. 13. And they are kind of intertwined, and I think it's interesting that one's reversed and one's not. Keywords: direct action, movement. Okay, so this is when it's upright. So again, I think it is actually calling for like a stillness. Intention, conviction, on purpose, progress, skill, becoming a hollow reed. Right? That's what I was saying earlier, like let go of the old story in order to move forward. I know this feels like it's kind of like turning into a little bit of a personal reading, but maybe you've just been like really, really close to, some sort of cause you've been working on. And of course you meet people and form close relationships, and that's how it goes. Reversed. Perhaps you're avoiding taking responsibility for your situation. Oh my gosh. You cannot win now by simply biding your time, right? Don't let life pass you by. Get busy and get going, which is interesting because I was like, no, sit still. But I think what I'm getting is what you had to do. And if you do feel like you are kind of like all over the place, because I am getting kind of like I know what to do, but maybe not. Like almost like there's almost a comfort in searching with these two aces reversed. But searching for something that you already have, or already know how to do. Use your energy in a positive way. Begin to move little by little, baby step by baby step, right? So I think before you're trying to make big changes, and that, like, like if you're like, well, I'm going to quit smoking and I'm going to, stop ordering takeout and I'm going to do this. Like if you try to make all these changes at once, your brain's like, LOL, no. I mean, it can be done for sure. And like people obviously have done it. But be like the squirrel girl, like give yourself, and I say girl, as just the lyric, any gender, whoever you are, be like the squirrel, Pearl. I'm just trying to think of it. Anyway, you have some work to do before you can reach your goals and inspiration, right? So it's like, don't go guns a-blazing like Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands, because that hasn't worked out in the past. Ask for the energy of the reed if you are stuck or blocked. Imagine that you are the archer. Take your bow and arrow, and with great skill and purpose, shoot the arrow to your bullseye. Allow the intention of your focus to carry you forward. Ask Spirit for help. Set your intention to be a hollow reed for Spirit to work through as you focus on your intention. Yeah, this is also saying no more apathy. Align with Spirit and ask for direction. So yeah, right now I feel like I'm getting, in terms of organizing and activism, for the world or for causes, and then just in general in your life, kind of parallel. I'm getting a lot of the, like, get organized, just because you know what you have to do, right? You know you have to work in harmony with people. You know you have to invest your time well. And you're going with all this, like, huge, huge energy, these big swings, but it's not, and maybe you feel like you're, like, busy and you feel good about it, but, like, are you really winning? Are you really producing anything that's helpful? So I think this is kind of reminding you to stop being busy and then, like, justifying indulgences by being like, well, you know, like, you know how it is, the gotta sort of mind, and start directing your action, instead of these big swoops, just because, like, especially with this guy, the blackthorn, all these little thorns, you have to move carefully, right? Like, they're protected, but you got to move carefully. You don't want to hack it down with a sword, because then you get rid of the protection. So you have to move with intention is what I'm getting. And if you aren't sure of how to do that, or you do feel like you're kind of like on an autopilot in terms of, well, I'm just going to kind of go and swing it and see what happens. Take that moment to still the water, right? Because even the littlest decisions, you know, make a ripple effect. So take a moment for stillness is what I'm hearing. And get your house in order, before you go to try to get the world in order, because I just feel like a lot of movement, but also I'm, like, hearing, like, you can't keep someone else warm by setting yourself on fire. So take time to recoup right now, especially, like, even if you are, like, moved, like, obviously, like, don't just be like, well, I'm gonna just, if you're in the midst of doing some action or something, like, don't be like, deuces, bye, unless, you know, you're burnt out, but just move with more intention is what I'm hearing in your entire life, and then that will be reflected in the world as well. So in a way, I don't want to say it's easier, it's simpler, pile 3, in the sense that it's one thing you got to focus on, right? And then you get all the pretty facets of it when you work on one thing. All right, pile 3, that is my reading for you, on how to kind of next navigate in terms of making this world less awful. Work on you first, and that will be reflected in the world. And if you enjoy this, again, if you could like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. This is my first time, so it would be very cool if you did that. And hopefully I will see you all again soon. Thanks, y'all.